guys, so today I'm going to be sharing my DIY at home manicure. So I mentioned this on Snapchat, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks ago, and you guys have been DMing me like crazy asking me when I'm making this video. So I thought I would go ahead and make it today because I've already broke 3 nails by slamming my hand in the dryer. But with the products that I use today, my nails seriously are so hard. They're very gel-like, they're super shiny, and they do last 12 to 14 days. Plus I can do this at home. I've also mentioned to you guys on Snapchat that on Sundays I usually like to take a little bit of me time and do my nails. First of all, I'm saving money, obviously. But I also feel like I'm like saving the headache of even going to the salon because I always leave feeling like they didn't do my nails like I would have done them. Not saying like I'm the best at doing nails because I'm so not. But I feel like if I'm gonna be going to the salon and paying for them, like I want them perfect. You know what I mean? Like I want them to take their time and they're always super fast. And I just leave like not happy. So for me, just doing them at home, it's just peace of mind. Plus it just, you know, gives me a little bit of me time, helps me focus on myself, and just makes me get my nails just like I like them, or as close to I like them as I can. And now that I found this little group of products that work really well to make my nails last, like I feel like there's no reason for me to even go to the nail salon at all. So I'm excited to share these with you guys. But before I get into me actually applying the polish, I want to go over a couple things that I do like to prep my nails for polish. So to shape my nails, I actually have 3 different files, but I use them all for something different. So this one right here, which is like that flat file, you can find these pretty much anywhere. This is from Kroger, the grocery store. Actually, all of these are. But this one right here is the one that I use to actually file my nail. And this is like the flat one. This is the medium 180, which is the grit of the actual like, you know, sandpaper file. If your nails are like all rigged and stuff when you start out and you really want to create that shape, this is what I use this one for. So it's going to be a little bit more abrasive than going in with something like these two right here. And if you find that your nails like catch onto things and snag, it actually might be because you're filing your nails back and forth, which is actually gonna like rough up the surface and cause breakage towards the end of your nail. So a little tip for that is when you're filing, just file one way. So like on this side, I'll file it this way, and this side, I'll file it this way, because it's so easy to get caught up and just go in and, you know, file your nails like we're taught to. I try to like consciously think about how I'm filing my nails because it really has made a difference. So just a little tip about filing your nails. And then next I go in with this little guy after I have my nails shaped, and this is what I'll use to like smooth out the ends of my nails, like right where I was saying that they could break. Then also if my nails are a little bit rough, like, you know, just like the bed of my nail, I'll actually just go in and, you know, do all of the little steps. They're all numbered on here. So that's what I like to use this one for, and just, you know, kind of smooth everything out. Once I have the initial shape, it could be a little bit rough on the edges. So I'll just go in with this one and just, you know, kind of clean it up a little bit. And then last but not least, I'll go in with this like big cubic rectangle, and I'll just go in and kind of buff out my nail, get it really smooth and shiny, because this one has like the side number 4 on here, which is gonna just like, you know, create that shine and kind of polish my nail. So these are the 3 that I use like on the regular when I'm doing my nails and what I use them for. And I also find that if I do go in and push my cuticles down, my nails look a lot longer, which is great because I kind of have chubby fingers. So the longer my nail, the better my hand looks, you know what I mean? So I was gonna show you what my little cuticle pusher looks like. I actually have a metal one and I really like it. You just have to make sure that you go in with a light touch. You don't wanna go in there like really abrasive and hard and like, you know, go at it like that, because that's just going to like tear your nail bed up, which you don't want. But I was gonna show you what mine looks like. However, Tim took my cuticle pusher, and on the other end of it, it's like kind of like a little hook deal, and he was using it for his in-ground toenail. So that no longer is gonna be used as my cuticle pusher. That's gonna be his, and I'm gonna get my own. So I'm not gonna show you guys that, but I do have the metal one, and I'll actually go repurchase a new one because that one works so well for me. And then I'll quickly mention the products that I'm going to be using throughout this video, just because I'm going to be doing a voiceover for that part. So I just want to make sure that I mention it to you guys. But this is the nail polish remover that I use. This is the non-acetone nail polish remover. This is actually just from Target. This is the Up and Up brand. Honestly, I'm not too picky about my nail polish removers. If you have a favorite one that works for you, great. The reason why I love this one so much is because I can put my little cotton round on here and just pump it. I know that that kind of sounds silly, like so high maintenance that you have to have the little pump, but honestly, it is just such a convenience now to me because I tried this and I just love it, so I continue to repurchase this. And it's super compact and all of that. So this is the one that I use, but honestly, just any nail polish remover will work. I like to get non-acetone just because I don't want it to be so abrasive on my nails. I'll literally just put the cotton round on my nail, let it sit there for a little bit, and then wipe straight up. and it takes it right off. So it's not a big deal to me. I just wanted to mention the one that I use though, because it is super, super convenient. And I've actually never been too into like taking care of my cuticles, which I probably should be, but I've never had like huge issues with them. I just like them pushed down because it does make my fingers look longer. So I've never really gotten into cuticle oils or purchasing oils just for my cuticles. So I've always just used this one. This is the Pure Dior Argan Oil. I've talked about this here on my channel before. It's good for your face, your hair, your nails, everything, because it's just argan oil. So I just apply this to my cuticles at the very end of me painting and everything, and it just, you know, makes my cuticles look a little extra polished and just very moisturized, and also adds, you know, hydration to them. You can actually purchase this at Walgreens now, I believe. I will link it down below though. I know they do have it on Amazon, but it's just a really, really good argan oil, great for sensitive skin. And then as far as polishes go, I want to go ahead and just mention the ones I'm going to be using in the video, just in case I forget. I'm sure I won't, but just in case I do. I wanted to just go into a little bit more detail with you guys. So the actual product that is going to make your nails last and get really, really hard like gel polish is this polish called Gelish. This is Advanced Nail Gel Coat. And this is by American Classics. And I actually use this for my base coat, my in-between coat, and then you can also use this for a top coat if you want. I just like it a little extra shiny. This actually gives a lot of shine, but I just like to be a little extra with my shine. So I actually go in with this one for my top coat. This is the Sally Hansen Miracle Gel Topcoat. And this probably has to be my favorite top coat that I have used in a very, very long time, because it really makes my nails super, super like lacquery looking, which I really, really like. And you can pretty much find this anywhere. This gelish one you can only find at Sally's Beauty Supply or online, but I will link it down below for you guys. But this one, honestly, you can find at any drugstore. I will go ahead and link it down below, but honestly, any drugstore carries this. And then for the polish, it's also by Sally Hansen. These Sally Hansen Miracle Gel polishes are so, so good. I love the formulation of them. They're very creamy, they give a lot of shine, and they're very opaque, but without being streaky. So I really, really like them. This one is in number 239 Smart Teas, or Smarties. And it's just like that perfect kind of like baby doll pink, very similar to Essie's Fiji, which is extremely streaky, beautiful color, just a horrible formulation. This one's very, very opaque, but it's not streaky at all, which you guys will see in the video. And this one is actually just a tad bit darker than Fiji, which I feel like is a little bit more flattering on my skin tone, because it's not like so nuded out, has a little bit more pink to it. So I think that that is everything that I wanted to mention before we jumped into me applying it to my nails. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you do try it out, please be sure to let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and jump into the demo, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, so starting off with my base coat, I'm going in with the American Classics Gelish Polish. Again, you can find this on Amazon. I will link it down below for you guys, or you can pick it up at Sally's Beauty Supply. But I'm just doing a nice even coat of this. I'm not being too precise. I'm just starting a little above the cuticle and then taking it all the way to the very top of my nail, just so that I don't get splitting and that my nails last a little bit longer. And then I just set my timer for about 2 minutes. It's really important to let this first step cure or dry a little bit so that it hardens before you apply polish. And then for polish, I'm going to be using the Miracle Gel formulation by Sally Hansen, which is one of my favorites. The shade that I'm using today is called Smart Teas, very similar to Essie Fiji, only this one is a little bit darker, or just a little bit more pink, I think. But I really, really love this color. I think it's like a little bit more flattering if you have like medium to dark skin tone. So for this first layer, you don't have to worry about being too precise. I like to just start at the base of my nail and kind of push the polish down towards my cuticle, not touching the cuticle though, because I feel like once it touches, it just doesn't look as good. It looks a little bit sloppy, and my nail polish never lasts as long. So after I apply it to the base, I just bring it straight up and then to each side. Don't worry about it being completely covered, because that's what the second coat's for. So I just let this dry for about 30 seconds, and then I'll move on to my second coat. And this is where you want to take your time and, you know, just make sure you have a completely even base. But again, don't go in with too much product, because then it's just going to get a little cakey and heavy, and then that won't look good either, you know? So just again, starting at the base and then going to each side with a nice even layer. I'm also making sure that I seal the top of my nail, so I'm bringing the polish to the very tippy tip top and just sealing it in so that I don't have any problems with chipping or snagging or anything like that. And my nails always last a lot longer if I do that. And then I'm just setting the timer for 1 minute and letting the polish dry. And then I'm going to go back in with another coat of the gelish polish. that we used at the beginning. This is going to be like my middle step, and this is just going to harden that polish and just make sure that it's really locked in. It kind of bonds in between the first layer, the polish, and then the second layer that we're putting on now. And then again, I'm making sure to get it at the very top of my nail, just so that it's really, really hard and strong, and basically like a gel manicure. And then now for the next 3 to 5 minutes, it's basically just a waiting game. You really want to make sure that you take your time and let this cure on your nails. So the longer the better. And then I'm going to go back in and apply a top coat now. You don't have to. That could honestly be your top coat. But I like to be a little bit extra glossy and lacquery. So I like to go in with the Miracle Gel Topcoat, which is probably my favorite that I've tried, and I've tried a lot of them, but this one just leaves my nails super, super shiny, which is what I like. So I just go over the top and apply a coat of this and make sure to seal the top as well. And then that is it. That's my gel manicure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful and found some tips and tricks you can apply to your manicure at home. And I forgot I added this part in here, but I wanted to show you guys what I do when I apply the cuticle oil. So again, I don't use a specific cuticle oil. I just use argan oil, and I feel like it works the same for me personally. So I just apply a little bit of this to my cuticles and the base of my nails. And I don't know why, but like the base of my nail always gets really dry too, not just my cuticle. So I just apply it basically everywhere, and then just let it continue to dry. Before you apply the argan oil or your cuticle oil, you definitely want to make sure that it is dry. So that is it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye!